excited to be here with you today. And I'm here with my friend Heather, and she's an amazing person. And she's gonna give us all her tips and tricks on how to own your mind to achieve your goals. Welcome to the group, Heather. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me in your community. And we're also sharing to our community here today. So I'm super excited. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you for your friendship for so many years now. I'm so grateful to always connect and collab with you.
Yes, no, I'm super grateful. We go way back when we studied mindset together. So I'm super excited to dive into this topic with you. And well, first of all, I want everybody to know who Heather Lee Chapman is. So please let us know.
Thank you. So, for those of you that don't know me yet, I am a holistic high performance coach for conscious entrepreneurs, helping you through self and business mastery so that you can own it and live happy and fulfilled. And I've actually had quite a journey. I started out as a registered kinesiologist. Minored in human kinetics, majored in human kinetics, minored in biology and psychology. And I was really had a great opportunity to go to a great school that had human potential and performance, motor learning and control, perceptual motor development, so many great, incredible classes that really introduced me to human conditioning, which is really understanding our behavior, which also requires us to understand how the mind and the brain work. Then I began to study nutrition, advanced spiritual training, specialized in brain and spinal cord injuries, and really have been working to treat people like a whole mind, body, soul, and spirit, because we are a spiritual being having a physical experience that came here with a soul purpose, that has a mind that is on autopilot based off our human conditioning. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, what is the mind? What is neuro linguistics programming? So, how does the mind get programmed through language? And how can we change it so that we can actually own our mind and not be on autopilot and be the person we were conditioned to be, but instead be the person we want to be, who's going to create life by design and not by default? Because you came here to live a happy and blissful life. And just because somebody told you when you were 5, that you weren't smart or you were bad at math doesn't mean that that needs to be your reality now. And to break down what that means, I'll go into some tips. Are we ready?
We are ready.
Dive
And
right in.
yes, let's go into it. And I love because changing our habits, which is that's our conditioning, is what it's actually going to help us go into our next level us, right? So go into it.
Absolutely. So I love the saying, change your habits, change your life. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go to ownitempire.com and grab our free customizable ultimate success habit tracker. This gives you my template of my self and business mastery foundations, and you can customize that to use that as your own. Because as Robert Kiyosaki says, whatever we track improves. So what are habits? Habits are things that we do unconsciously, right? So when we do something that enough times through repetition, this is one of the forms of reprogramming yourself. So when we use auto-suggestion, the spaced repetition of an idea or thought over time, or repetition of a habit or an action, it becomes more automatic. So thank God for our autonomic nervous system that allows us to breathe while we sleep, and we don't even have to think about it. So wouldn't it be great if you just had automatically positive thoughts? You thought, in the power of possibility instead of fear, worry, and doubt. But for the majority of us, the conditioning is often on the negative side. So we have something called our unconscious mind and our conscious mind. Some people call it your subconscious. But as we're going to talk about the importance of language today, we understand sub means like less than. So it's not less than, it is running your life. So we actually call it your unconscious. So your unconscious mind is running your life. Did you know that 98% of what you do in a day, thoughts, feelings, and actions, are automatic and habitual? Yes, you have thought habits. So even your thoughts are habits. So where did these habits come from? Where did these thoughts and behaviors come from? When we're born, we're a blank slate. So basically before the age of 5, we're taking in the world around us. And from 1 to 3, we actually make everything that happens in our environment, it means about us, because we haven't developed separation yet. We are born with unity consciousness. And we understand that when we harm others, we harm ourselves. And when we harm ourselves, we harm others. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred. And we're all connected through what we call the morphogenic field, the quantum field, or some people call the net. And we can talk about more on the energetic side on another day. But today we're just going to stick with the mind. So the power of mind. So you have this unconscious mind. And up until the age 7, you are building your programming. Okay, so think about that. What was your environment that you grew up in before the age of 7? Then from 7 to 14, you go out and you begin to now model that. So all that you learned up until the age of 7, you go out and you begin to model it, and you're testing it out in the world, and you're getting feedback. And then from 14 to 21, we really start to build that personality. So this personality, or our behaviors, or our belief system is now running our life. So like I said, 98% of what you do in a day is habitual, and it's based off that programming. So most people are walking around with the emotional, intellectual intelligence of their 21 or maybe even 14-year-old self. So how do we evolve beyond that? Which is wild when we think about it, right?
It is.
For many of us, we've kept growing. So that's not true for probably the majority of you people listening, because we all have incredible growth mindsets instead of fixed mindsets. And we know that everything can always grow and change. So in your unconscious mind, you have a part of the brain called your reticular activation system. So your reticular activation system, or your RA, is actually your filter. Okay, so the information, all this information that is happening in the world around us, we're taking in. Your eyes take in about 75 gigabytes of information per second, and your brain thousands of bits. And so how do we take in all this information and organize it? Your unconscious mind deletes, generalizes, and distorts the information coming in based off your mental filters or that programming you built from 0 to 21. So it comes in, you're taking in all this information, and then your reticular activation system is saying, wherever your energy is focused on, it will use that as a filter. So if you're focused on fear, worry, and doubt, and all the ways it's not going to work, damn right, that's exactly how it's going to go, because that's what your brain is only going to filter for you. And it's going to chunk it down, delete, generalize, and distort it down based on your mental filters you got conditioned to have. So it breaks it down to about 5 to 7 bits of information from thousands.
From all that information that you gather, it just goes down to that much.
And how? It's because it's where your focus is and what your filters are. And so if anyone hasn't seen the awareness test basketball game, go to YouTube, do that after this show, and come back and let us know what was your outcome. So we did this in our perceptual motor and development class, which was my favorite class and my favorite teacher. If Dr. Horton ever watches this, shout out, you are incredible. And, and it was amazing because we all began to realize that there's many things that are happening in our environment that we actually don't quote unquote see, because our brain says not important. So it doesn't register in the brain. So imagine you've got your conditioning, and then society's constantly telling you to look at what's not right, what's wrong, fear, worry, doubt. I want you to just pause and think. I said one of the ways to program is repetition. Ask yourself, what has been the repeating information that has been coming our way?
That's right. Through the news, through like whatever programs you watch. So it's always so important to feed your mind with positive information, right?
100%. That information is coming in. Even if you are just playing the news in the background, remember, it takes in everything. Okay. And if that is just always playing in the background, that's what is being auto-suggested. And so your focus is on fear, worry, and doubt. And so now that RA and their filter is breaking it all down so that you only see, feel, and focus on more of that. So what if we switch to a pole of possibility and positivity? So the truth is, there is either positive or there is negative. And we get the choice to choose to harvest the good and focus on the positive, or focus on the negative. And just know what you choose to perceive is now going to be filtered better off by your brain. And that is going to be creating our results. So you want to own your goals.
I
And you
love it.
and you feel,
Okay,
yeah, go
so
ahead.
sorry to interrupt, but then like just so I can absorb everything that you're saying. So then pretty much what you're saying that we could see everything in positive or negative, and depending of how we are programming our brains with that positive or negative, then that's how we are also going to see the possibilities that present to us.
Yes.
Oh, very good. So everybody, please pay attention to this. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
Continue.
no, it's perfect. It's so perfect. So just think, if you want to become a millionaire or a billionaire or a trillionaire, and you are focused on debt, even if there are possibilities and opportunities in your world to make that happen, your brain will say not important. It won't even tell you about them. And it's going to give you, here are your options, all the negative things.
This is crazy. So, all of you people looking to buy a home, if you think that it's not possible for you, even if you are wrong, then pretty much you are going to absorb that there's no possibilities for you because that's all you're focusing on. So,
Yeah.
this is so important. Okay, pay attention.
And imagine what could be possible. So the question is, are you in possibility? So looking and focusing on the ways that it could work, because often there is a possibility and a way that it could work, but we miss it because we're focused on the repeating messages like, it's not going to work. It's so hard. This, that, and the other thing. But please tell me that how and why then during most recessions are millionaires born? The most millionaires during times of recession. Because guess what? The money is in flux. The money is in flow. More money has been printed in the last few years than the last 40 years combined. So don't tell me it's not out there. It's just who has the mindset to be in the point of attraction to receive it.
Love it. Okay, so are you guys having the mindset of the point of attraction of buying a home or buying an investment property or opening a business? Or are you just seeing the negative side that potentially the interest rates are high, that there's potentially a recession happening, or like all these other negative things that we absorb from the media and the environment, right?
Exactly. So fill your mind with things of possibility. So you have your unconscious mind, which is running your life. And so we are going to take more control over that. So you want to achieve your goals, you have to choose possibility and positivity. And now we're actually going to use what we call auto-suggestion to reframe it and to put new possibilities into your unconscious mind. So if your current belief is, I can't buy a home, then the new belief would be, I am a homeowner, or I have multiple properties, or I can afford an investment property, or I now have an investment property portfolio. That is where we would want our energy and possibilities to be focused on. One, it's actually going to auto-suggest it to our unconscious mind. So our limbic system doesn't understand real and imagined. So when you decide, hey, I have an investment portfolio of the most exceptional properties, your unconscious mind actually believes that to be true. And it will start to filter the information to help you and support you to do so. There's also in the limbic system doesn't understand time. So it doesn't understand between real and imagined. So every time you think about all the ways it could go wrong, it actually triggers your thoughts, trigger a physiological response in your body, and can actually make you sick. If you need to learn more about that, read the study of the epigenetics, the biology of belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton, and pick up some Louise Hay books to get some new positive affirmations. So now we're going to decide that, hey, I am going to be able to do this. And so we're going to repeat it to ourselves over and over again, which changes the old belief. Or, of course, you can book a timeline therapy breakthrough with me, and we can remove those limiting beliefs in under 10 minutes. And that's the power of neurolinguistics programming. So how do we give things in our life meaning? Through our language. So what language are you describing your experience? So no matter what happens, it only gets brought into our reality by us giving it meaning through the language we choose to describe the experience. So that's your perception. Again, positive or negative. So I'm going to ask you for this moment going forward to choose to have the perception of possibility and positivity, and use affirmations or positive statements that are going to reframe your old belief system that has you stuck. So if you are like, I cannot break my own glass ceiling, I just seem for some reason to be stuck no matter what I do, and I'm speaking from personal experience previously, until I learned all this information, I was like, why can't I break this glass ceiling? That glass ceiling is the belief system for you. And your belief system was built from the model of the world you grew up in. So, do I have any billionaire female entrepreneurs in my family? No. So, I have to build that model of the world for myself to step into. So, I create new affirmations to repeat to myself, and I start to surround myself with other people who are doing the same, because our environment is key. We cannot outgrow our environment. So if you want to own that investment portfolio, you want to hang out with people like GLADYS, because that's what she helps people do. And she knows many people who are doing that. And when we change our environment, because you will be the average of the 5 people you spend your time with, revenue wise, even your looks, you have mirror neurons that will mirror the people around you, their behavior, their thoughts, beliefs, and actions. And if we want to talk energetically, everyone has thought impulses, and those are also their thought impulses are also passing through you. So if they're, I always use the simplest example: Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore. Every day you get to choose who you want to show up as in this world. And you also get to choose who you spend your time with. So I want to dare you to be a homeowner and build that investment property portfolio and build yourself a wall of financial freedom around yourself and your family for generations to come, so that you can live happy and fulfilled and a life you designed, and you can build those assets. And all it really has to do with, first and foremost, is our mind.
Owning your mind.
So if you are ready to own your goals, you first must own your mind and your thought habits. And in order to do that, you first have to pause and ask, well, what are the current beliefs and thoughts that are getting me my current results, and how can we shift them? GLADYS and I are great at helping you reframe them. So reach out to us at any time. I'm so happy to serve you guys in any way, shape, or form. I could talk forever on this subject. There's so much more I want to share, and we just simply don't have time today. So go ahead, go to ownitempire.com. You can book a free strategy call. I always have free trainings up, and make sure you grab that customizable habit tracker, because that will change your life. Change your habits, change your life.
100%. So if you have any questions, please reach out to Heather in regards how to reframe your mindset. She's awesome at it. And as you can see, she's full of knowledge. And in reality, she's 100% true. We cannot change our current reality until we don't change our minds. And it's pretty easy. It could come from like how we learn to save money, how we spend our money, right? It's as simple as that, because sometimes we do earn the money to buy a home, but we actually don't save it. And that is actually programming us on how we actually use or save our money from our parents, and even from generations. It's in our, like family tree. So we sometimes really need help to break through these habits. And Heather is awesome at it. So Heather already said that you can find her on Own It Empire. Like, do you have anywhere else that people can find it? Find you?
Of course, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok. So Own It Empire, Heather Lee Chapman, and all the information that you want to know more about us is on our website. So that's ownitempire.com. And I just look forward to serving you guys and connecting with you more. And make sure you book that free strategy call with GLADYS, so that you can start to really lean into your real estate. And I just wanted to second what she was saying. So even your belief about being a homeowner, you have a belief about money and how to manage money and what you do with it. And all of this is habitual. And until we start to change those, which Gladys is trained in understanding the mind and also in this zone of genius. And so she is the person to help you change those beliefs and those habits so that you can truly build the life that you want with that freedom, with your home, which is your place in the world, as Gladys likes to say, and perhaps investments and building yourself a lucrative empire through real estate.
Yes, because the main goal is to build wealth through real estate.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having you here, for being here, Heather. And I definitely would love to have you back in the future to discuss other topics. I think everybody will be really excited to like learn more about the mind. So thank you so much. And I'm sure everybody, if you guys have any questions for Heather, you can actually post them in the chat and she will be able to answer them. So thank you again.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and have a beautiful and blessed day, everyone.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.